Bumgarner, and today on the round table, Democratic senators want police to report all deaths at the hands of the cops to the Department of Justice. Also today we're going to be discussing on the panel, Baltimore Police Department slowdown. What the hell is going on with the police in Baltimore? That and more will be discussed on today's Phoenix 22 Rising's The Round Table. Okay, today we have my guest, Big Eric, is back with us again today. Great songwriter of California, also a very, very, very talented musician. Today we're going to be talking about, as I said before, the cops basically have to report all their murders to the Department of Justice. So that's the first thing we're going to talk about. Then we're going to talk about the law enforcement, the police slowdown in Baltimore. Okay. That's going to be the second thing we talk about today. But I just want to start off by the Department of Justice, well, the Democrats, I should say, that are basically putting up. This is the second bill of pretty much the same thing. So why did the first bill and the second bill, how do they contrast? We don't know. Well, actually, I do. The second bill, basically, you have to give gender, race, age of the person that was murdered by the police. So, Tim, what do you think about this new law that they're trying to propose at this point?
They're full of crap like they always are. Why are we writing laws about stuff that everybody knows? Why are we writing new laws about things that everybody knows should have already been on the books? Had this been white people, had they been shooting at white folks, would we have to go round and round and round and round about the bills? Okay, so what are we really talking about? Really, what America? What are we really talking about?
Well, they said that they're making this law for us. They're making this. They're trying to give you that. That
those equal rights we've heard so much about.
Obama's My Brother's Keeper program. This is part of that. We want to show that we're working for you now.
Is that what that is? This is some of the
so many murders of
democracy. They want to include us now.
Right.
See, when they start shooting us, maybe that's their way of including us into the American dream.
But do you think if this passes, do you think it will have an effect? Now that they have to, because let me remind you, let me go to the stats. Let me pull it up on okay. Here's the stats right now. This is what we have. You have to remember, before this bill is passed, from the beginning of the police inception till now, they haven't had to report any of their murders ever. Like if they kill someone in the line of duty, they never had to. They didn't report to anybody.
Well, that's intentional. They can when we're talking about something that has nothing to do with this, any other subject that has to do with people in general, they never seem to have any problem being very thorough when they're writing up laws. All law is exact. All law is specific. They get really, and all the things that we say as the lawmakers, if we don't mention it, don't do it. But when it comes to this, well, it just seems like, you can shoot a couple Negroes in the back. It doesn't really matter. It's all right. They're not really people. They can take pain, Thomas Jefferson, which is different than Thomas Paine. They don't feel pain like we do. And they don't need as much sleep and rest as. In fact, they love working on the plantation. Dark is all work on the Mississippi.
And that's always been argued. We don't feel pain the same way.
Oh no, we don't feel pain. You dark.
So you can do more to them. But
yeah. Watch. Let me just open up his skull with a ball peen hammer. Yeah.
But here's the thing. Do you think that because of this law passing, do you think it'll help or not?
Well, okay. Help who? Who's
help black and brown people.
My ass.
From getting shot.
Since when are they trying to help us do anything?
But I'm just saying, do you think now they have to report? Because once those numbers start getting up there, the way you think it's going to help things? Or
it's still the same. It's still the same people. Makes no difference where it's coming from. It's still the same people. Okay, so law enforcement has to report to the local government, who reports to the feds. Okay, who reports to who goes over to the mayor, who goes like, come on, people.
But I will say this though: the Department of Justice is a federal independent body, so it's not part of the police department. So they will have to answer to a third party.
Oh, like they're innocent?
Well, no, I'm not saying they're innocent, but they will have to answer to a third party. So do you think that'll help or hurt things?
It'll put an eyeball on them.
Right. Okay.
But that's about as good as it's going to
be. Because what I say right here, it said, as of right now, only 400 police departments out of roughly 1,500 in the United States are giving any information. So now all 1,500 will have to turn in their kill charge.
Yeah,
so
but which makes you wonder why is that not mandatory to start with? We're talking about killing people.
Exactly. Why isn't that mandatory?
Why is that not? Had it been from the very start, had they been shooting my Anglo brethren from the very start, that would have been mandatory. See, but they don't consider you to be human, so it doesn't really matter. Out with the trash.
Oh, another thing, according to the Guardian newspaper,
which city?
According to the Guardian,
Everybody's got a Guardian.
they're talking about these things too. They also say that they have discovered several places in Texas and in Baltimore where they just have kill sheets of just people dead. They don't even give them a name, no picture. Some people have a picture with no name to show you how much they don't care about the people that they killed.
As I said,
they hasn't even been logged.
Out with the trash. It doesn't matter. Had they been when the inception of the police force in America, had they been shooting white folks from the start, then the approach to it would be different. We need to count up all these white people that have been shot, and the government's going to reimburse them, then the insurance company. But because they're shooting black folks, it didn't matter. The whole damn thing it was skewed towards shooting black folks.
Well, I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad you said that because another thing about the Guardian talking about that too is they talk about how the white people, especially the talking heads at Fox News and other organizations, get it wrong and give you this false data. Basically saying, what's the first thing they tell black people all the time? Hey, there are more whites being shot than anybody. Well, if we look at the statistical data here,
okay, let's look at their numbers.
There are more whites getting shot, and the more whites that are getting shot are whites that deserve to be getting shot. These are people that are actually shooting at the cops.
Don't you love it?
So they deserve to be shot. This is
so they have to shoot.
Right, they have to shoot.
Shot.
Yes,
they have to possess a gun.
Exactly.
They have to actually make a shot and make an actual threat to the police, and that will get you shot.
But check this out, though. Even the highest number of whites that are getting shot by other, the cops that are shooting the people that are shooting back at them.
Right.
Okay, that number still is not high as the unarmed blacks that are getting shot. How about that? Unarmed. That means nobody's shooting at you. They're running away.
And running away from you.
That number, the number of blacks that are unarmed, are higher than the whites that are shooting back at the cops that they are killing.
Right.
But they're going to use that as a basis to say, hey, there's more whites being shot than you guys.
Oh well, like I said once before, if that were the case, then why are you not out marching in the street and protesting like black folks are?
Well, because we know the truth on that.
Well, everybody knows the truth on it, but like I said before, the official story is always a lie. The official story is always a lie from a liar.
Of course.
So and liars tell you that they're lying. You know that because they're lying. There you go.
But what kind of I don't understand what kind of. I guess what I'm saying is I don't understand how you could have these false numbers and try to, well, it's not like they ain't done it before, but they have these false numbers and try to sell it as the gospel. There are more whites being killed in the streets than blacks will ever be shot. And I'm like, I'm just
really?
Like, but then when you look at the numbers,
it's bleeding.
Exactly.
It's blood on my heart. It's bleeding.
And see, then when you look at the numbers, you find out two things. Number one, police have not even been keeping score of their murders since the beginning.
Oh, but they can tell you how many white.
But they can tell you how many, which is also a lie. Which is lie number one. And then when you start keeping up with the lies, you start saying, well, now that we started keeping up with it 2 years ago, it seems that we're shooting more whites than blacks. Well, most of the whites are shooting back at us, so I guess they kind of deserve it. Well, the blacks are unarmed. Well, they just deserve to die because they scared me.
As I said before, and you will find that I will quote myself as I go through this. As I said before, they don't like your black ass, and they spend their time proving it. Oh, but we want to integrate. Let's hold hands and integrate, shall we? America, let's hold hands and integrate and we're just saying, love. We're just saying on the love boat all the way through. All this love will get us through it. Will it now?
Well, I tell you what, we're gonna switch gears real quick. We're gonna go to Baltimore now. Let's go over to the things about Baltimore. We know about Baltimore. Basically, what happened in Baltimore is this: Freddie Gray was killed by cops. And let's go over the story a little more accurately. No. Okay. What had happened was that Freddie Gray saw police officers on bicycles. Right. They looked at him and gave chase. No reason other than the black man running down the street after he sees the police. They run him down. We don't know what happened. What we do know is when they pick him up, he seems to be injured at that time.
Right.
When they put him in the car to leave, by the time he got to the police station, he had a severed spine.
Wow.
That's interesting. He dies a day or two later. Now, everything good, everything cut and dry. The police honestly think that they did their job. Well, we didn't do nothing.
Well, yeah, but
he was injured and died. Well, he didn't die. He was injured in your custody, which led to death. They had 3 to 4 times. No one called a doctor, hospital, or anything until the last minute when this man seemed like he was really on his last leg. Then they called him from when he was in jail. He died a day or 2 later. Now, these cops honestly thought, hey, and this was not the first one. Freddie Gray was not the first spine separation that they had. No, they had a guy before. That's where the riot started. There was another guy before that they separated his spine. And this was the second time that it went unknown and people just lost it. But they honestly felt, okay, now let's bring it up to date. Mosley, the state, what is that chick's name? Prosecutor.
Right.
The state prosecutor, you know the black lady,
right.
Mosley. Everyone got in an uproar because she decided to press charges against these men. So she pressed charges and got an indictment.
Ooh,
which means the people said, hey, we think that these guys did it. So she brought charges against 6 police officers. Now, Fox News and other affiliates, which is why I do this show, I want to talk to everyday people, I want to talk to everyday people, not just people who say they speak for you. So Fox News and others say, well, wait a minute. Blacks always say this is a racial thing. There were 2 cops out of the 6 that she arrested were black. First of all, black people didn't say just race unless there's a white cop behind it. But we didn't say there were no bad black cops too. Whoever said there weren't bad black cops? No one ever said that. Sometimes they can be the worst. So, I mean,
they can be.
Trying to prove themselves.
Right.
So, she has all these charges on these guys, and these people are getting angry. And that has led to my second topic, which is the Baltimore police slow down. Slow down meaning that cops are not doing their job. They're only going to 911 calls. This means they're not even out in mass like patrolling the streets. They're only going for 911 calls. They said all of a sudden there is a spike in crime. Well, I'm like, if you ain't out there doing your damn job on the street, of course there's a spike in crime.
Spike in crime.
We
have no numbers on that.
Excuse me, I think it's the mayor is trying to say, well, when they burned and looted the CVS, they took all these prescription drugs. Now the prescription drugs are on the street, and they're selling them, and it's a big turf war.
It's out of control.
No, why aren't you doing your job? The police are like, well, hey, I'm not doing my job because I don't want to get I don't want to get in trouble. And so what do you think about the police?
Let me go back a moment. Because I find this piece over here interesting. With the prosecutor in Baltimore, old girl gets an indictment for all 6 of these cats. Okay, now everybody's up in arms. They didn't think. Well, first of all, they thought she was going to play ball like the one before her, like the prosecutor before.
In Mike Brown's case,
right? Well, just in general, I don't know how long she's been at this department, but the union for the police, the attorneys for the police, the internal affairs, everybody thought she was going to play ball.
Yeah.
As usual. Sister steps up to the plate. She got a meat tenderizer and just went to the back of the head of the police chief. Pow! Hit him in the back of the head, which surprised him. 5 minutes before we went to all of a sudden I find out she surprised me. Why is it a surprise? Maybe it's a surprise that the only surprise I guess would be here is that she wasn't like the previous prosecuting attorney. And the only other surprise would be that you didn't think she was going to do her job the way it was supposed to have been done. That could be a surprise to you, perhaps, police chief, in that particular city. Okay, so now she gets an indictment of these 6 cats in here, and everybody's surprised about this. Right? Isn't she supposed to find the justice here? Ain't that the whole idea? Or did you think this was just going to be business as usual? Sister rolled up to the table, and she said it goes like. Sister rolls up to the table. It goes like this. And she started lopping off heads, and she was supposed to. I mean, isn't that what your taxpaying dollars is? We're supposed to be finding justice here.
Well, it's only justice when it's black criminals now. It's not
right. That's just damn fine police.
When it's police officers, they're just doing their job.
Oh, right.
You got to keep it. You got to keep the two separate, don't you know?
Speaking of separated, how did this cat's spine get separated from him? First of all, when we saw the video, he was already being dragged. Okay, He wasn't walking.
He couldn't even walk.
We don't know what happened prior to that video, but give it a minute. Somebody's got that video footage someplace. I mean, I would imagine someone's got that video.
Hey, I just put him in the paddy wagon. It wasn't my job to lock him in. He's not a child. I don't have to put him in his seatbelt. I mean, he was just hurt.
And this is the second one. So this is the second one. But we're not supposed to notice a pattern here. When you're not supposed to notice a pattern. I mean, they're just black folks. I mean, who cares? We kill them on the.
What do you mean a pattern?
We kill them daily.
A pattern?
Oh no! But look, his spine gets severed.
4, 5, 6,
yeah, you know, pattern one after the other in a succession.
But we don't know. We're not supposed to know that.
No. You're supposed to just think it's just damn fine policing. Just get him off the street. The boy on the bicycle. How
and you know the sad part about it is that there are some. I hate to say it. There are some black people out there that do think that this is just fine policing, and I feel very sad for them that they think that this is just fine police work. And if you don't want to be a criminal, as a friend of mine would say, I'm not going to say his name, so I don't want to embarrass him when this comes out. But a friend of mine said, if you don't want to be suspicious as black youth, you shouldn't look suspicious. I said, what's looking suspicious? Standing on the street is looking suspicious?
Well, wait a minute. Don't forget the one.
Yeah,
don't forget the one where he was getting on his bicycle. No, he was riding his bicycle in a suspicious manner.
Yeah. How do you
ride your bicycle in a suspicious? You see the shit that they come up with when they feel as though they want to come after you for whatever reason.
Exactly.
They make it up as they go. He's riding his bicycle in a suspicious manner. So you would have me believe that everyone that you what is a suspicious manner on a bicycle? You suspecting this of what? No proof. It's a suspicion. That's nice. But I find it very interesting that I have a suspicion too. I suspect that you full of shit, Officer Donut. I suspect that too. I have a suspicion as well. Why is your suspicion better than my suspicion? And I suspect that if I go with you, my spine might get severed.
Well, see, this goes back to.
I suspect that.
This goes back to the video we watched, and I'm going to incorporate this in. I might actually play this footage for you guys a little bit later, but it's actually all encapsulates even the story we saw the other day about the pregnant black lady that was got by the cop. Now I'm not going to go into all of the situation of the pregnant black lady that got taken in by the police officer, but basically they were analyzing this on a show, and the police officer basically said that the black woman was handcuffed. Because even if the cop is wrong in arresting you, say it's illegal for him to arrest you, he's not arresting you for anything legal, you are supposed to go with him anyway. She was not resisting, but so that basically said this ex-cop is saying, anytime a police officer decides to just say, hey, you come with me right now, sir, I didn't do anything, it does not matter, you're supposed to go with him. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. That's not how.
Yeah, we'll see.
The ACLU says the same thing, actually.
But again, see, we have to be careful. See, as people of color in this America, these Americas, you gotta watch white folks. See, because they play with the words. Mm-hmm. See, because remember, they had the cat from New York City. I forget his name. He was a retired cop from New York City. And he's going to weigh in on the subject. I forget the TV program where he decided to weigh in on this. And he says, well, it's illegal to resist the police. Well, hold on, whoa, bro. If the cop is no longer following the law, then who is he exactly? You can't break the law to enforce the law. So if he's no longer following the law, which is different than legal, okay, then once he steps outside this circle, he's kidnapping. That's what because if we're not going to follow the law, then why do we write them up? If it's just do whatever he says, from one grown man to another grown man, really? Well, why don't you do what I say? Because hey, you probably won't get shot if you do what I say. Why don't you go home or get in your car and go find some real crime, Officer Pound Cake? So again, the question becomes: even when I'm right, I'm wrong. But again, watch it. Well. It's illegal to resist him. He doesn't need a reason. Remember, he didn't ask the white woman for her ID. He asked the sister for her ID. He had just said there's no crime here. Well, then why are you over here? Again, you're stepping outside the jurisdiction. But don't forget, we and the judges and the legal system gives an officer some leeway to make a few mistakes.
Of course.
Well, here's the problem.
Of course.
See, when you make a mistake, this is literally a matter of life and death. When I make a mistake, I won't make a left turn on that, and I won't make a right, and I won't do this and that. When you make a mistake, people get killed.
And let me just clarify what Big Eric's talking about. We're talking about a video that's surfacing now about a black pregnant lady who basically she had the cops called on. She was in Barstow at an elementary school dropping her kid off, and there was a white lady dropping her kid off. A white lady basically called a police officer and said the black lady had hit her car or something to the effect. Now, they were showing the video. There was no damage to the car at all. The police officer even said, look, ma'am, there seems to be no crime here at all. And then he left her, went over to the black lady who was about 8 months pregnant. And he started talking to her, and she said, what happened? She said, nothing. This white lady was screaming at me, telling me I couldn't park here, this, that, and the other, and so forth and so on. He asked her name, and she's like, I don't have to tell you my name. And notice he did not ask the white lady her name. He did not. But he asked the black lady her name, and she said, I don't have to tell you my name. Matter of fact, she actually called her boyfriend to see if she had to give him a name. He said, I'm going to give you 20 minutes. No, he said, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Excuse me. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to hang up the phone. He gave her like 20 seconds. And then he started putting her hands behind her back. Now, mind you, when you're getting arrested, 9 times out of 10, I mean, I've seen a lot of movies. You know, you're supposed to say, okay, you're being arrested. But several times I've seen cops on videos arrest people without even telling them they're being arrested. Just because you grab my persons or my hands does not tell me I'm being arrested. You have to say, hello, you're going to jail, you're being arrested. So I will know. The lady was not resisting, but it's kind of hard for an 8-month pregnant woman to put her hands behind her back. So the white lady got what she wanted, which is the black lady arrested. And all of this, and they say, well, is it racist? Was it racist? Was it not?
Oh, it's not racial.
It was racist because the fact of the matter was he had no right. In the court, the judge even threw the case out. He didn't even have a case. He just wanted to ruin her day.
Yeah, but first they upheld it. First they co-signed the cop's bad behavior, and then whereupon closer inspection, they went, oh well, you know, maybe we'll just go ahead and let her go, and you know, we can save ourselves a lawsuit.
Well, the cops still stuck behind what they said, even though the judge threw it out.
Yeah, but why don't they wait a minute? They send these cops out here as though. How is it the cop? You're supposed to be enforcing the law, but you don't even know what the law is, really. But when it comes to black folks, I guess you ain't got to know what the law is.
Well, the thing is that, see, here's the thing. This is what I found out and realized about the police. The police don't have to actually know the law. Their job is to enforce the law.
How can you enforce what you don't know?
But you have to ask yourself, how can you enforce what you don't know? Exactly.
Yeah, but all he does know, he may not know any about what we were just talking about, Mr. Cop Man, but he does know that if I arrest you, you can't resist.
Exactly.
Notice how he went straight to it. So whatever it is he don't know back here, I do know one thing as a cop. It's illegal to resist my arrest. It's illegal for me to legally handcuff and kidnap you.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem I have with that. A lot of people sit here and they talk about. I hear the ex-cops and stuff come on here, and even other people at ACLU say this. Well, you know, here's the deal. Just go with the cops, go downtown, and then you figure it out. Okay,
what figure out? Now I'm in your system. What am I figuring out?
But here's the problem I really have. Most of the people that get into this system are not people that can afford to go get lawyers. Okay.
So they settle for all kinds of crazy.
So they settle for the craziness and madness that goes on with it.
When they get
and then they say, well, get justice after you go downtown with it. Well, how can you get justice? I can barely pay my rent. How am I supposed to go and sue this guy? And he knows he's just going to ruin my day.
And how am I compensated
for how am I compensated
when it turns out that it's just what I said it was?
What if I'm late for work or lose my job?
Now how am I compensated? Well, doesn't matter. That's just damn fine good police and your black ass. I know you've done. See, their attitude is, we know you've done something somewhere. We just don't know what it is. We just haven't gotten to you yet.
Of course.
And we got to you, and there it is. You deserve it. I know you did something.
Well, to me, the murders continue to prove that, you know, unarmed or not, it used to be educated or not, but now it's actually unarmed or not as well. You're dangerous, unarmed or not. If you're unarmed, you're just as dangerous as you are. I'm like, you have, like I said before, I'll say it again. The police have 4 to 5 weapons on them at all times.
Oh, they run right past all.
They got the little steel rod.
Well, okay,
the baton.
You got your baton.
They got the pepper spray.
You got your taser.
They got the taser.
Right.
And almighty, the lethal weapon of force, which is the gun on the hip.
Right.
You got all of this, and you can call for backup.
Right.
But every single time, it seems as if even when they're trying to pull for their taser, which is usually in the middle of their chest, they go for the gun.
Because they can't tell the difference, you see.
I don't understand why lethal force has to be used in every single, especially with black people.
But that's because they want to.
Look,
in 2000 and whatever the hell, you got new cops coming along. Anybody in today's society that wants to be a cop wants to have a gun. That's the idea. You want to have a gun. Anybody that's standing here telling you, anybody under say 40, standing here that wants to become a cop is telling you that they just want to enforce justice and they want to see that justice is served, is full of shit. You want to use a gun. Anybody in their right mind in today's society is not trying to be a cop, given what they're dealing with. And here's my favorite part. Batons, we got pepper spray, you got your zap gun, we got wooden batons in some cases. But wait a minute. I was afraid for my life. I don't understand what was happening.
Exactly.
He was like a monster.
And how can you be afraid for your life most of the time when people that you're shooting are unarmed?
Yeah. And running from you.
And I was afraid for my life.
I was afraid for my life.
But you know what? You bring up another. I had to switch to another topic real quick, but you said something that really sparked something too. one of the most racial things that I don't think people really got, and I'm going to have to back up here. One of the racial things that most people I don't really think got in the news at all. Nobody brought it up. Nobody said nothing. Even on my favorite show, TV One, they didn't get it. Darren Wilson, when he shot Mike Brown,
Don't you love it?
he said on an interview that I saw him, he was looking straight at me. He had like these demon eyes, and
He was a
like-
demon.
I'm like, oh, okay. So he grew 16
Monster.
feet. He grew an extra 100 pounds wider. He had demon eyes. Have you seen a demon before?
Oh, I've seen
But,
demons.
but this goes back to the racial epithets that they had
Demon.
in the 60s, 40s, and 30s. Whenever a black guy would get in a fight with a white guy, and the white guy would have to go justify it to his father by saying, oh, it was 6 of them. It was 8 of them. It was one black dude that whooped your ass, and it was 8 of them. They're giants. They're fast as... Oh, my jackrabbits. They just run everywhere. So
The giants.
these
He
are the same-
multiplied in front of me.
these are the same racial epithets that they used back in the 50s and the 40s and the 60s, and it was just ridiculous, and no one caught that. Everybody, he looked like a... When the last time have you seen a demon? I mean, I just want to know.
First of all, they have to demonize you.
Of course.
Notice the language. First, I got to turn you into a monster. When these things jump off with these cops and these civilians, it never fails. The first thing the press want to latch on to is some reason as to why he deserved to be killed, while saying, no, he should not have been. But that's why if he had simply, and if you didn't, and if he wouldn't, stop it. Would y'all white folks stop? Would y'all please stop? We only look stupid. We ain't really stupid. This cat said, okay, he's a demon. He's a monster. First the press wants to do is demonize you. We first got to figure out if you were arrested, you ever had smoked cigarettes underage, have you gotten a divorce, are you a baby daddy, there's some alimony that's not being paid. First we have to make you look like a villain, which justifies the cops shooting at you. But all black folks, just people in general, grown folks say, do you have to be shot for that? Is that the idea? And that's why you shot
Because he
him?
didn't pay child support?
He didn't pay.
Well, he
Garner.
was $2,000 behind.
Garner. Well, hey, if that's okay, so I see why you strangled Garner to death in the
Selling
street.
loose cigarettes.
Might lose cigarettes.
And how dare you break up a fight? and
Well,
kill
wait
somebody?
a minute. Now, no, hold on. Now, was he selling loose cigarettes when you found him?
No.
Well, he was selling loose cigarettes before.
That's
Well,
why
didn't he pay for that before?
That's why we were watching him.
Well, why is he paying for that again?
So now he's on a terrorist watch list.
Oh,
because
he's on the
selling
terrorist watch. He's selling loose cigarettes. It's out of
That looks like
control.
a little-
It's
that
the end of the world.
That looks like a little too much manpower for some people who are selling unloose cigarettes.
But they got manpower for that, though.
Well, they say they don't.
No, but they got manpower for that.
Well,
In
hold
fact,
up.
too, was it 3, 4, 5 guys pulled him down, choked him out?
Yes.
Oh well, he doubled in size. You saw him, America. Mike Garner, he doubled in size. He changed color. He picked up 3 cops and started beating them like newspapers on the ground.
And to tell you, he had high blood pressure, cholesterol, high cholesterol.
Oh, was he diabetic?
He was a diabetic.
Oh,
he had asthma.
he had a fake leg or something. I don't know what was
He
going
had
on.
asthma.
But he
All
was
these
out of
problems.
control.
Exactly.
Whatever it was, he took all 3 of them. He grabbed us up like this, like little kids, and started yanking us like Beanie Babies. He was out of control.
Hold on, I gotta get to this one thing I gotta ask you about too, about the cops in Baltimore. So I was watching a couple shows because I try to see what they say because I want to hear the noise and the craziness that's out there. So here's the thing: so you basically got cops that are laying back in the cut saying, "I ain't doing shit. I'm not doing nothing because they're gonna do this, that, and the other." So when you have cops that are basically not wanting to do their job, what do you think the penalty should be for them? Since we pay their salary, what do you think the penalty should be for these cops who are refusing to go out and police?
Well, okay, if you're not going to do your job, then we'll find. I think I should fire you. Why should
Yes.
I pay you for a job you ain't
Exactly.
doing?
Why are you getting paid for
Why are you
something
getting
that
paid
you're
for
not
money?
doing?
Okay, because don't forget your oath, but they break that all day.
But here's the thing I was also watching too. It seems as if I can't police you and kill you, I won't be a cop.
Oh no, the point is to kill you.
If I have to worry about me accidentally severing your spine or
I don't know how the heck because we're trained.
I don't know how to be a police officer.
Yeah,
but I can't do that.
But see, we got so much training as police officers. We're trained to know how to deal with you without shooting you. But if I can't shoot you, I don't know where my training went. My training goes right out the
If
window.
I can't sever your spine, I don't really know how to police you.
I can't police you unless I beat you like a rug out
Like
back.
they said, what they say it was a glory. It's just like little monkey children. You just gotta know how to corral them and keep them. It's like this. It's like that's what they think about black
right.
people. It's just, to me, that's what it's like. They think of black people. It's like they're just little animals. We gotta corral them together.
Oh,
and,
yeah, you gotta
and make
put them
sure.
together.
And sometimes they need a little, severing of the
discipline.
spine, and a little discipline, and a little shot to the back.
Oh, that's
they need
shot
that.
to the back.
They'll get up. What did the cop
Oh,
say
yeah.
when he shot the guy in the back and stuff?
Oh my God!
Get out.
Oh, sweet Jesus. No, really, honestly, seriously, for a moment, can I for a moment? You've all seen this, America. You've all seen this, America. You've all seen this. Man, the woman calls, I guess she thought if she called the cops, they can handle him and take her schizophrenic son to the hospital. She walks out the front with her purse in her hand. The cops come up, the two cops come up, and she's like, well, there he is. And she walks off for a moment, and he's standing in the doorway with a screwdriver. If you haven't seen this, in all seriousness, if you haven't seen this, you got to be ready for this. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. You need to be ready for this. This will hurt your feelings, right? He's standing in the doorway with the screwdriver. Watch the situation. Sir, what seems to be a problem? Sir, you want to put the screwdriver down for me, sir? Sir, and they cranked it up. Sir, put the screwdriver down. Oh my God, aliens are coming. We're gonna shoot. He takes off to the left. Body cameras. We know this because of body cameras. He takes off to the left. They act as though he came at them. He doubled in size. Remember, black folks double in size when they start running. They double in size and their color turns kind of green. And he took off to the left. The two cops started shooting at him. They shot this cat. They shot this man. It hurt my feelings so bad. I honestly, genuinely feel that I need therapy. I may say it with a slight smile, but that is traumatic. They shot this boy in front of his mother in the background. All she's, oh my God, he shot my mother. So they say to him, he's face down in his own blood. How many times did they shoot this cat? 3, 4, 5? I don't know. We lost shots. And it, put the screwdriver down, sir. Put the screwdriver. I'm like, it's like they're following a script.
Yep.
If they don't say this, the attorneys for the police department can't get him off. So it's almost like somebody told you, if you shoot somebody, say these words. And I know what to say when it comes to court time. So, sir, put the gun down, put your hands behind your back, they're both of them say, it's a good shoot. Now they're going to co-sign the bad psychology. It's a good shoot. It's a good shoot.
Let me bring it in. Let me bring in the anchor on this. As traumatizing as that was, what really hurt my feelings after that was they sat, put their guns away, and looked at each other and said, we need to call our we need to call our rep.
Really?
We need to call our rep. Yeah, we need to call them right now. And
we need to call our rep.
So they're calling already to get their stories ready because they know they made a kill that might be questionable. So they're already calling their rep.
Whatever it is, call me.
How many times do you think that's happened that they have killed someone and said, yeah, we need to call? Or is that a new log line now that they're like, whenever you make a kill and you think you might be hesitant, call your rep.
Whatever it is, if you find, as a police officer, policy official, it is policy to shoot niggas in the street. Apparently, that's the watch the words. That's the policy official. Okay, to shoot people and kill them in the street. So when you do this as your attorney, if you cops find yourself in a circumstance, if you have to do this, call me. Right? This is what you say. So when we get to court, I can always pull up the tape and say, well, you see, the officer was traumatized, you understand, and he was afraid for his life, you see. And it was clear that they were somewhat confused about the circumstance. Because, if you shoot someone, I don't know if you've ever shot anyone, but, when you shoot people that can traumatize, forget the victim, fuck him. I'm traumatized. I'm afraid for my life. Adrenaline was pumping, and my attorney can get me off if I say these words. See, that preps everybody. When we get to court, you say we saw it on camera. Everything's on camera. Forget the guy that we shot. Put your hands behind you. You shot 7 times. Wait a minute. Which reminds me of the current situation when the cop shot the cat running away from him 7 times. What's his name?
Oh God, I don't know. South Carolina, right? South Carolina.
7 times. He's running from you. You roll up on cat. He's face down. You shot at him 7 times.
He said,
we don't know how many times you get it. Get up. Put your hands behind your back.
As if he's gonna magically resurrect.
What do they think of us? I sprinkle some magic bullets on you.
He's just gonna wake up.
Well, you shooting at this cat? What to wound? You can't wound. You can't wound him. It's all when you pull your gun. It's got to be fatal. Maybe they're telling them from coast to. Maybe in different states they're telling them different things. Because I seem to remember. I can't remember what state it was in, but I seem to remember when the cop pulled his gun, he was supposed to empty the clip and reload.
And they do with most cases. But hold on one second, guys. We're going to be back in just a few minutes. We got to go pay some bills, and we'll be back in 2 and 2. All right.
It's crystal clear the United States has declared war on black people.
As they struggle for freedom and justice, is the weapon of nonviolence. We're nonviolent with people who are nonviolent with us.
Okay, and we're back in the round table. This is Lee's last words. Okay, so you saw what we saw today. We talked about the Baltimore riots. We talked about the Baltimore police slowdown. We pretty much covered everything. The Democratic senators that want cops to report all the deaths to the DOJ. We covered it all today, and I just wanted to tell you guys that for Lee's last words, black people in America, we have got to start to wake up. It is getting ridiculous out there. And don't think just because the senators are giving us a nice little bill now that things are going to go away. I think you're going to have to get used to a lot of cops being more hands off now and allowing more crime because they're scared. Scared of what? Litigation. The fact of the matter is they believe, I personally believe, that if they can't kill you, then they don't want to police the streets. And it's sad that they feel that way, but I look at it as if that's the case, then yeah, keep hands off. You know, so that's my only personal thoughts. I told you guys this is our first live show with the Round Table from California. I think it was a great show, went very well, and we're going to have many, many more. Until next time, you have a good week.